Good evening, everybody. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome you all to our Mindfulness through Buddhism Dharma study class. My name is Linda, and I'm delighted to serve as your moderator tonight. Just a brief introduction about our class for our friends who are new to the class. This is a class where we deep dive into the discourses of the Buddha, into the discourses taught by the Buddha roughly 2,600 years ago. And for the past few weeks, we have been learning the core teachings of the Buddha, one of the core teachings of the Buddha, that is the law of dependent origination. And in this teaching, the Buddha reveals the hidden mechanics behind the cycle of birth and death and the way out of it. The Buddha taught that life is not random and it unfolds according to causes and conditions. Um, And if you have missed previous classes, please don't worry because we have the recordings and you can always refer back to the recordings. And tonight we are very fortunate that we have Venerable Bhante Amitakema to be with us, to guide us in this session. Now tonight, I believe our friend Mike will do a recap from our past session. So I will spotlight Mike. And Mike, please go ahead. Many merit, Mike.
Oh, thank you very much, Linda. It was beautiful. Welcome. Thank you so much. Namo Buddhaya. So to recap, a couple weeks ago, we went on part 4 of our dependent origination series, and in that series, we were covering the cause for Namarupa, or the mentality and the materiality part of the teaching. We reviewed the law of dependent origination, and Bante went over explaining how it works. One of the examples was because of A, then B arises, and then it's given an example to causation. So because of A, then B arises. When A falls, B falls, and when A is not there, B is not there. And so these things are interdependent of each other. There is no like time in between them. Um, and so in that class, we learned we're learning the dependent origination of sufferings. Not seeing suffering as being hungry, thirsty, or having pain, or by categorizing one part of life as happy and another part as painful, but seeing the whole scenario as suffering, some of it pleasant and some of it unpleasant. And so we were reviewing these teachings and the qualities of the teachings. So the teachings, some of the qualities of these teachings that Bante was providing a couple weeks ago, the teachings that we can understand here and now, sanditiko. And also these teachings are things that we can see within ourselves. And that's called open aiko. And these are the teachings to overcome from sufferings. And we also reviewed sufferings based on relationships, on how love is impermanent. We reviewed the birth of a new baby and really when the suffering starts. And we learned that the suffering really starts at the concept of learning of the conception of the baby. And we also learned that every relationship is a suffering because of impermanence. And Bante, gave us a teaching to treat people like it's the first time and it's the last time you'll ever see them. And in that way, you can make the best out of every moment that you're with them. And to remove fear from those moments, and also to treat every moment like that, like it's the first and last moment. So then we went into the dependent origination, and Bante reviewed it. We went backwards, so we went from aging and death, and the cause for aging and death was birth, and the cause for birth was becoming or the arranging of karma. And inside of that, there's sensual pleasures and three types of sensual pleasures inside the arranging of karma. And so we learned about those three types. Also, because of the becoming, what arises that before that is clinging. And there's four types of clinging. So we learned there's sensual pleasure, clinging to sensual pleasure, clinging to the point of view, clinging to precepts, or clinging to the fake I or the ego. And the reason clinging arises because of craving or tana. And that happens in all six sense faculties. So you see, you hear, you smell, you taste, any tangibles, and mind intentions. And the reason for craving is feeling or vedana. And we learned there's three types, kind of basic types. There's pleasant, neutral, and negative. But also, if in the deeper teachings, we learned that it goes into two types of feelings, three types of feelings, six types of feelings, 18 types of feelings, 36 types of feelings, and then 108 types of feelings. And the reason feelings arise is because of contact or pasa. And so we've learned about this before. There's I, and then consciousness, and then the object, and that arises contact. So, and the reason for this is the six sense spaces, or salyatana. And the six sense spaces are, we see, we hear, we smell, we taste, our body and the tangibles, and then our mind and our intentions. And the cause for the six sense bases is the mentality or the materiality, the nama rupa. And this is what the class was focusing on this couple weeks ago. And the nama rupa is kind of like the feeling or the intentions that we have. And then we learned about the different kind of learning how karma is the field and consciousness is the seed, and craving is like the water to the seed. And because of mentality and materiality, namarupa, uh, why that arises is because of consciousness or vijnana, and I'm actually sorry, I ran over that. Consciousness is actually where the karma is the field, and consciousness is the seed, and craving is the water. And the reason consciousness is arising is because of volitional formations or sankhara. And the reason for volitional formations is because of ignorance. And so we reviewed all 12 of those. And we also reviewed the story of a female Arahant monk and gave examples of karma. Even though she was a meritorious person, but in action by by speech caused bad karma for her. And there was a poem that was about how the body is kind of disgusting and decaying. Um, and yeah, and I think that was about it. We reviewed that, and that last poem was a beautiful poem. And I think that's about it. That was our recap from last week. I remember we finished with that poem. Um, so
Yeah, that's pretty much everything, Mike.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, my friend Mike. And you did a good job and with the Pali words as well. I'm so proud of you, my friend.
thank you, sir.
We
Thank
all
you, Linda.
close our eyes as for a few seconds as I invite Bante Amitakema to join us with the session. And tonight we are going to do a total revision as well. There will be open Q&A. Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. Let's start. Bring your palms together and let's pay respect to Buddha because we are exploring what Buddha taught us. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. My homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay our respect to our teacher, Pinat Lokuswaminas also. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Right. Now, we have a common knowledge about the dependent origination, which means that how things are arising and falling. So, again, now after these sessions, no one can, so that you are confident to talk about what is suffering. When we say suffering, it's not like, oh, I don't like to this life, or it's not like that. We know what that so suffering means, that things arising because of the impermanence, and it's a one characteristic of this existence. And uh, no matter whether we discuss it or we don't discuss, we all go through it. And the reason we are discussing it, we know something better than the suffering. So, like, that's why we learn and discuss and improve our knowledge in this, not to just to worry or suffer. Why I'm saying this? In a like a interfaith discussion one day, someone said, because everyone in the group were like telling about mindfulness and meditation. It's like everyone highlighting what Buddha said, and so even in an interfaith background. And then someone brought that question, like, so because that's the first time he's exploring what Buddha said. So why Buddha saying, but Buddhism always talk about suffering? And so it's a kind of a common thing, argument. So I can remember when I was in school, I learned in a not a Buddhist school. And then when I was learning, that the priest, while discussing the teachings, what he said, that it's a teaching we talk about impermanence. And then it's like, when we see in that way, it's like we are being permanent and we are talking something impermanent. So the best approach is, if someone want to learn something about Buddhism, it talks about what's happening right now in us and in everyone. So then we can bring ourselves to a solution, that means ending sufferings. So when we practice meditations, and so what I see is that the samatha part, that concentration, everyone, not everyone I would say, but most of the people can feel it, that relieving stress and so. But the vipassana part, that inside part, that's the most important thing. Rarely people catch that part. Why? The reason is, we would like to see the world through that eye, that means that the framed eye, and we want to make things beautiful around and in eye. But it's like we can stay in a kind of a temporary hallucination, that we are believing that I'm so blessed in one way, but still decaying will create suffering. Illness will create suffering. Uh, Separation from beloved people will create suffering. Associate to, and when it happens to associate with the people and things you don't like, will create suffering. And if you still do not find anything like that, at least while you are driving, someone will tailgate. So that's the life. So we need to understand this. So when we understand this, so then instead of like rejecting something, we learn to navigate through. What's the benefit of navigating through this? Because that's the only option. And while we are doing so, we can understand and reach the enlightenment. So enlightenment is the goal of the teachings of the Buddha. It's the end of the sufferings. So ending sufferings are something possible. So now we need to understand what is this dependent knowledge of dependent origination and how it lead to the understand or the enlightenment. So therefore I would like to share you couple of suttas or the teachings of the Buddha. So this time I'm trying to use our chatbot to see whether it's working, and then if it works, then you also can try it. So I didn't try this to find this sutta, but I just want to check, and if it works, so then we all can use it in that way. Okay. The sutta we are trying to learn is na tumha, something that it's not yours. Let's ask, can you find the na tumha san you? Let's see whether our chatbot is capable of doing that. Let's see it bring something. I want the parallel. Yambika, oh, this is not, this is also Natumha Sutta, but this is not what we are talking. Right. In depend. Okay, good. We'll see. No, it couldn't find, but anyway. But this is very important sutta. I don't know why we can't find it in more often. So Buddha saying, Nayam bhikkhave kayo tumhaka. Buddha saying, this monks, this body is not yours. Napi anyesa. It's also not someone else. Puranamidam bhikkhave kamma. This is a past karma. Your body is a past karma. Abhisankata. It's specially created, like it's created because of a reason. Abhisanchetita. It created because of intention. And then Vedaita Dattaba. You need to see it by experiencing. So Buddha saying, you have your body is not belong to you or not to belong to someone else. I mean, not belong to you means in what point of view? The point of view is when it comes to the authority, full authority. So I can say this body is mine, but still I have a back pain. So likewise, so it's not yours and it's not someone else, and but it's a Puranamidam karma. This made because of the past karma, which means that the karma means that intention, any action we did based on intention. And then it says Puranamidam karma abhisankata. It's specially created. Abhisanchayatayita, created because of intention. you can understand it by experiencing. In other words, we all experiencing some good body or like healthy or unhealthy, uh, extremely healthy or extremely unhealthy. Some things like decaying is a common thing, but it's will while it happening it, so there's a like so when it comes to other than our effort or workout or maintaining the good nutritious habits, like good habits, if you are having a body with that some sort of a good healthy body, and it's a reason of karma. And if you are not having, there's also reason for karma, not only the body but also the things you experience while having this body, which mean some, if you don't try to see this from one incident, when you go through your life you may see that your where your luck is and where your luck is not. As an example, see, when you go through your life, there may be some, when there's kind of a financial thing, you may be kind of a luckiest person, not in one occasion, maybe quite a few, or at least many. But when it comes to education, you may not. When it comes to associating with friends, you may not. In the other side, when it comes to associating with friends, I'm not saying about putting your effort and making plans, just generally happening. So there are some things like it's happening over and over again. In that way, you can see some patterns in our lives. So this karma, Buddha saying, abhisankatang, it's create. Okay, let's go through the real. I mean, with the translated words. Body seen as produced by choices, oh this is translation, and intentions and something to be felt, right? This common saying is Buddha often sharing, which means that um, uh, abhisankata, which is specially created and be created because of intention, and you have to see it by experiencing. Just remember all those, just three things. It's specially created because of your intention, because of intention, and you can see it by experiencing. So then Buddha saying, Tatrako Bhikkave Sutava Arya Savako. In this case, uh, one who learned from Buddha, Paticca Samuppadang eva sadhukang yoniso manasikaroti. In this case, like a good practitioner reflecting or thinking on the dependent origination. So he's thinking, which Mike just said, like iti masming sati idang hoti. When this is here, this also here. Imassa uppada idang upajati. When this arise, this also arising. It's like if this is here, this also here. If this arise, this also arise. And the second, the opposite is, if this is not the here, this also not here. If this is cessation, like ceasing, this also will cease. So that's the we call Arya Nyaya. That's the logic, or that's the theory of this dependent origination. And then that dependent origination, he is thinking, contemplating on this. Avijja pacha sankara. Because of ignorance, sankhara arises. Now, since we know about sankhara, I'm not going to describe it. Because of when sankhara is here, consciousness is here. When there's consciousness, mentality and materiality here. When mentality and materiality here, the six sense faculties here. When six sense faculties here, contact is here. When contact is here, feelings is here. When feelings is here, the craving is here. When craving is here, clinging is here. When clinging is here, becoming or the collection of karma is here. When there's becoming, the jati or the birth is here. When birth is here, decaying and death and all the sufferings are here. So that's the way. And the opposite is when ignorance or the is not here, sankhara also not here. When sankhara is not here, conscious is not here. When consciousness is not here, mentality and materiality not here. Likewise to the decay and death. So that's what he's thinking. Why he's thinking? Because this body is this life, we can generally say this life is specially created by intention, and how we can realize how it created by experiencing. And then that's the end of that Natumha Sutra. That means that's this which is not belong to you. And then we need to learn that the Pancha Bhayavera Sutta, that means that there are 5 things which create fear and the envy or the hatred. So we need to learn how this knowledge helps someone to this again, this is just an, if it is just a knowledge, that's something, but if this is a realization, that's something else, right? To realize this, you need to see this within yourself. To see within yourself, we had 3 classes and we had 3 different, like not 3 different examples to understand this. That's for because of this, I'm skipping that, but if we have time, we can go through it, because that without seeing this within yourself, it's still just a knowledge, like you have knowledge about atoms, but still you can see, right? This is something I need to share with you. It's if you are in front of computer, please go through this. So this teaching Buddha giving in Savatthi. Savatthi is a kind of a common place. Common, not most of the suttas which we recorded as, most of the time it says Savatthi. Savatthi is the place which Jeta donated, that monastery. Atako Anathapindiko Gahapati Yena Bhagava Tena Upasankami, that Anathapindika came to see Buddha. Upasankamitva Bhagavan came and worshipped Buddha and sat aside. And then Yatoko Gahapati Arya Savako Pancha Bhayavereni Vupa Santani Honti Chatuhicha Sotapanna Angehi Samanagato Hoti Aryo Chasa Nyayo Panyaya Suditto Nyayo Panyaya Suditto Hoti Suppati Viddo. So Akankamano Attanava Attanam Vyakareya කීන නිරයෝමි කීන තිරච්ඡානයෝනි කීන පෙට්ටි විසයෝ කීන අපාය දුක්ඛති විනිපාතෝ සෝතාපන්නෝ හමස්මි අවිනිපාත ධම්මෝ ඥායෝ සම්බෝධි පරායනෝති. It's really difficult to read in English letters, right? So not ඥායෝ, it's niyato sambodhi parayanoti. Right. So Buddha is saying, if someone has these qualities, what? Pancha Bhayaveni Vupasanta. That means there are 5 things which create fear and hatred. If that's already eliminated, and then Chatuhi Sotapannahi Ange Samanagato, which means that 4 things are there in the stream entrant person. That means if anyone attained to the first stage of enlightenment, that person has these 4 things. And Aryo Chasa Nyayo Panyaya Suditto. Hold on a second. Yeah, Aryo Chasa Nyayo Panyaya Suditto. That means Aryo Nyayo means that this noble theory, that means when A is here, B also here. When A arises, B also arises. That's what that dependent origination basic theory. That's what we call that this that Aryo Nyayo. And then so if that person would like to say about himself, he can say, I am a person keen keen nirayomya, that I'm not going to go to the nirvaya or the hell again. Kina tirachana yonya, I'm not going to go to animal world again. Kina pettivisya, I'm not going to reborn as a ghost again. And that's the end of all that that means that the suffering world. And I am a stream entrant. Sotapanna means, Sota means the stream which lead to the Nibbana or the enlightenment. And then Sotapanno hamasmi avinipata dhammo niyato sambodhi parayano. I'm not going to suffering worlds, and definitely I will attain the enlightenment. So that's what that Arya Savaka stream entrant person can say. If he would like to describe about himself, he can say so. Then I will add another thing. So you may have heard that monks are not allowed to talk about their the highly ordained monks with about themselves or their experience, not only in stream entrant, even a jhanas, with anyone other than a highly ordained monk. So that's another thing. Sometimes you may have feel like any contradiction. So this is not to show off. This idea is what Buddha is saying. So if someone has this knowledge, he can understand about himself. I'm a person like this. So then, what are the 5 things which are not that this that fear and hatred arises? The 5 things are the 5 precepts, nothing else, nothing other than anything, which is that if someone kill living beings, and so then what happened? Because of that action, it create fear and hatred. It create fear and hatred in both sides. Not only the one who's doing that, and not even the people who experience that. Think that in your neighborhood there's someone who used to kill, not living, just think, used to kill humans. Okay, I'm just stopping this sharing. Think that someone in your neighborhood, he just came out of the jail, and you all know that this guy is a serial killer. For some reason, he just got a chance to have a second chance. Now, how do you feel? It's so nice to have see him in around the neighborhood while you are having a jogging or walking. And would you like, do you think it's a safe place your children to play around? No. So it creates that the fear and also hatred in both sides. And also the one who's stealing, if you know, it doesn't matter even though your best friend, or if one of your uh, someone who's your relation. So if that person is stealing, you are not just walking away when he is around the, in your house. So you will sit with him until he leave. Why? You have fear, and you have that the kind of, it create hatred in both parties. And then the sexual misconduct also the same, telling lies also the same, and people who are drinking too much also create the same. So stream entrant person is not gonna do that. Not just, so here's the thing, rest of the people, they are correcting themselves if that something happened, but a stream entrant means that his his wisdom avoiding from those things. So he does not want to be happy by killing someone. He does not want to be happy by stealing someone else's possession, because he has inner peace and happiness within himself. He is not a person who do things which regret later. So that five things should be over in him. And then, oh, what is the uh, Chatuhi special qualities which a stream entrant has? One is uh, Buddhi aveccha pasadena samannagata hoti. He has great confidence and unshakable confidence towards Buddha. Buddha is an arahant who does not have any defilements. Samma Sambuddha, who understood whole world without guidance from another teacher. Vijjacharana Sampanno, his life and his knowledge is not a two different thing, same thing. And Lokavidu, he understood about whole world as it is. Anuttara Purisa Dhammasarathi, he is a amazing teacher to tame and correct even uh, correct any wise person or divinely being or human being who live in this world. And Satta Deva Manasana, he is a teacher to humans also, not only to humans, even as super conscious people, living beings. Why I'm saying super conscious, when we say God, we sometimes we misunderstand. And then Buddha, he is a great teacher who can describe his knowledge in various ways. And Bhagava, he is kind of a luckiest person. He has a great confidence towards Buddha. It's unshakable. Here's the thing. He is not protecting his faith by force. It's like think that if I don't have good confidence towards Buddha, then I have to protect it by avoiding uh, listening to some anything which reject what Buddha said, and I have to protect it by force. So when it comes to this unshakable uh, confidence, means that not even you try to protect your confidence. It's like you can't erase your confidence towards Buddha, even you try it by yourself. Why so? You are not just believing something, you see something as it is. So that's why you can erase it. So it's like you are not trying to protect something, that the confidence protect you, instead of you are trying to protect something for your protection. It's like think that you are paying your insurance because insurance protect you when you want to hospitalized. So then you need to pay insurance. So it's not the way what we say. Think that if you have like full insurance, you don't want to pay, or it's not like you don't want to monthly pay also, where whenever you hospitalize, it covers by itself. So likewise, so it's not something to protect, it's something with you. That's the one thing. And then second thing, the confidence towards the teachings of the Buddha. It's also unshakable one. So that the confidence comes not just believing, not like saying, hey, I have I like, you know what, I have confidence about something amazing, you guys don't have that. It's not like that. It's nothing to compare also. The confidence comes to us, the Buddha's teaching. It has no, that confidence has six qualities. I mean that confidence comes to that six qualities. Those are Soakat, well discourse for this purpose of eradicating suffering. Sandittika, you can understand it here and now. Akaliko, it's a timeless teaching. Ehipassiko, open to all. And then you can see it within yourself and you will realize up to your wisdom level. So like anyone's when they try. So likewise, when you that sort of a confidence. And third confidence towards the practitioners. So he knows that the one who practice this path, practitioners, the highest end is the enlightened monk or the arahant. So that's why you are not relying on one Bhante. That's why if my teachings ask you to rely on Bhante came, I am super fair teacher. Right? Then it's like I'm replacing something, and I'm giving you a kind of a confidence to I'm also impermanence. My life also impermanence, and there is no way to like protect you. You should protect yourself by the knowledge and the experience from what you practice. So third confidence comes to the practitioner. Anyone who practices this, that the highest level is the enlightened monk or the arahant. So how your confidence gains? Supatipanno Bhagavato Savgasang. They are the one who did or doing the righteous thing which we need to do in this world. That means that to have the real happiness, we need to let go the lobe or the lust, anger, doso, and the delusion. And this is the direct path, and that's what they are practicing. That means Ujjupatipanno. Direct path means definitely this, when you understand this, the sufferings will over. Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangha. When someone practice this direct path, these practitioners attain to the levels of the enlightenment. First level, second level, third level, fourth level. Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangha. These practitioners, without expecting anything in return, sharing these teachings to the community. Those are the four qualities. And Yadidan Chattari Purisa Yugani, they are four by duals, which mean that first dual is one practicing stream entrant, attained the stream entrant. Second dual is practicing one's returnal level, attained one's returnal level. Third dual is practicing non-returnal level, attaining non-returnal level, attained non-returnal level. Fourth dual is practicing arahant path to arahantship, and then arahanthood. Those are the four dual. And eight individuals. Who are the 8 individuals? Well, that when we divide like all that first two, second two, third two, fourth two, that's all together, it's like 8. They are ahuneyo, which means that uh, uh, so that means that these monks are good to, even coming from far away and offering lunch or breakfast, or offering anything, to offer something, to come from far away, they are suitable for that. Pahuneyo, in case if they come to our house, come to our places, it's good to treat them. Pahuneyo. Dakkineyo. If someone need merits to share to someone, or for well-being, or for any, so when we start a good thing, they are good to offer something as expecting something like a benefit for ourselves. Anjali Karaniyo, that means that Anjali means the fingers. Anjali Karaniyo means bringing fingers like this. They are good to pay respect. And Anuttaram Punya Kirtan Lokas, they are like the most meritorious field if anyone would like to collect merits by helping or assisting. So that's the third thing. Fourth thing is that stream entrant has regret free seal or the precepts. So whatever the precept he protecting, it does not have like breaks, like he correct always himself, and his life, his ethical conduct never create regret in himself. So those are the four things. So he avoid from things which create fear and hatred, and he has his these four qualities. And what's the next thing? So then with this practitioner Arya Savako Panyaya Suddhito Hoti Super. So they have seen the dependent origination as it is. That means that that theory, how they see that theory, which is that starting from avijja, ending from jara marana, or starting from ignorance, ending from decaying and death. He has this knowledge about the paticca samuppada or the dependent origination, and he reflect it and he contemplate it. So this is a meditation. So I told that there are different ways to do this meditation. Okay, today I'm teaching the first meditation. So that's what you already know. So this is another meditation. When you want to meditate while walking or sitting, you can reflect how this world happens. So if you are not like I think in this class, who anyone who attained to these four classes has clear, at least kind of a clear knowledge how avijja creates sankhara, how sankhara create vijnana, like how this consciousness create materiality and mentality. If you don't sure about that, please read it again. The articles are in the website, and listen it again, and then ask questions. So this is a wonderful class. You all can ask questions, right? And so that's the bunch of Bayavera. So then if you can still try that using chatbot, and if you have any question and still you need to answer, ask that, send this as a question to Bante, then it will send it as a question to the email. So then whenever I get a chance, I will answer. If not, I will get a friend, like I will ask my friend Mark to answer to that, bringing the references. Okay, that's the class today, and it's time you to ask or share anything if you want.
Bante, can Bante kindly explain how ignorance will create sankhara? That one I'm not quite sure if I understand, Bante. Maybe.
Okay, so to understand that, I mean, I gave a small kind of a that analogy to understand that in jhanas we learn that, okay, that so that when someone attained to first jhana, we know that there are five things, and there are things which it doesn't have. So what are the things in first jhana we can see, Linda, if you can remember?
We can't see the five hindrances, right, Bante? No.
Yes, five hindrances and the sensual pleasure world,
Sensual
right?
pleasures. Yes, yes.
Right. And when it comes to second jhana, so what it does not have?
Vitakka and vichara, applied
Yeah,
and sustained thoughts.
yeah. And this sustained thoughts. How to say vitakka? It's just thought, right?
Yeah, applied and
Yeah, and
sustained.
applied and sustained thoughts. So, okay. So applied and sustained thoughts mean what?
That is with the kaya sankara, vachi sankara.
Vachi sankara.
Sankara.
Okay, that's the vachi sankara.
Is it the
Uh,
same, Bante?
yeah, vitakka vichara. That's the same.
Same with vachi sankara?
Yeah, that's it. Vitakka vichara.
But then in jhana, vitakka and vichara, isn't that, let's say, is breathing? Then vitakka is the breath. Vichara is when we sustain the breath. Bante.
So
What is
vitakka and vichara. So then you don't just frame vitakka vichara in just breathing. So vitakka vichara and the breathe. So vitakka vichara means that the applied and the sustained thoughts, and don't frame it from our knowledge of what the meditation what we do. So generally understand this is vitakka and this is vichara, right?
Right.
And then when someone attain to third jhana, what it does not have?
Doesn't have rapture, pity, Bhante.
Piti. And once someone attain to fourth jhana, what it does not have?
Sukha, Bhante.
And
Happy.
plus, okay, this thing that
Oh,
someone attain to formless formless level, akasana and chaitanya, what it does not have.
it doesn't have the form, Bhante.
And plus,
Plus
can you
the
remember something?
adukka masukha, that they and so manasa, do manasa also.
And
They don't.
breathe in and out, can you remember there's a sukha?
Oh, the breathing stops, Bhante, there.
Yes, and breathing comes with what?
Breathing comes with the kaya sankara, Bhante.
Right. Okay, think that now someone attained to the that end of arcane I think that's the perceptual level, and it's more subtle in the neither perception or
Nothingness.
like nivasanya, nasanya, neither no perception or perception, and then think that someone attained that sanya vedita nirodha. That's only an enlightened monk or that the third stage the practitioner would attain. So that means what it does not have,
Chitta sankara, Bhante, there.
chitta sankhara. So that means that wherever the chitta sankhara, so that where so that's the end of avijja, and then so avijja, when avijja is here, so because of that sankhara and things arises, and so it's a kind of a one way to understand. So if, why I'm giving this analogy, just to have a common idea about this, because we need to overcome from that how it happened, what it happened, because then you are going through with the doubtfulness. So that the sign, so that mind, the chitta is here, that the we can talk about chitta because the perception and the feeling. So that the in the arahant, that nibbana is, it does not have, it's not another perception or feeling, the cessation of everything, sanya vedita nirodha. So that's one way to understand. Did you get it?
Yes, Bhante, but Arahant, before they anupadisesa,
Yeah, so this is
so
parinibbana.
yes,
Yeah,
if they are still
so
alive, they still have the feeling, but they don't cling to the
yeah, so
feeling.
it's like they have the arahants has feelings, perceptions, and so with that part, when we learn that part, we need to understand that 5 aggregates and 5 aggregates of clingings. So when we talk about 5 aggregates of clingings, we talk about sasavang upadaniya, with fetters and clingings. So we can talk about an arahant like what we talk about ourselves, like a person view. Because to us, he is a person, but it's like, that thing that someone believing a car is a thing that someone who lived to 1800 and suddenly got a chance to, after having a coma but having a long lifespan, and just like came to life now as a human. Yeah, I mean, just got a chance to see the experience this world and think that he's in a Tesla, and he think that Tesla is a human, like a living being. But is Tesla is a living being?
No.
No. But to him, so likewise that the arahant is still living because it has consciousness, but that's the end of all the measurements what we bring. So so that's why I'm saying, instead of trying to figure out in different ways, please go through this dependent origination, the contemplation. And the way Buddha said, then you, because when you read this dependent origination part, the Arahants also discussing this, right? How avijja, how sankara arises. Have you seen the Arahants discussions? They are saying that because of this, that happened, because of it, that happened, or just saying because of avijja.
Maybe because of avijja only.
Yeah, you need to go through those suttas. After the lunch, when my arahants comes and in the evening and discuss about dependent origination, not because they don't know, that arahants just having a kind of a discussion, maybe to help someone else, to one who's listening, how decaying and death happens. Then arahant saying because of the birth, and how birth happened because of the power. So that means that whoever who understand this theory as it is, he understand in the same way. No, not with that, like, that quantum physics also.
So it's not only avijja, they also go through from the jati jarana and then
Yes,
jati
and
jarana.
can you remember that's why I started the first sutta, Samma Ditti Sutta. Can you remember the main takeaway from that?
There were like 14 or 16 contemplation there, Bhante.
Yeah, but can you remember that what Arahant Sariputta saying? If someone has the knowledge of Jati Pacha Jara Marana, because of birth, decaying and death happens. So that's the same knowledge of the
The
Samadhi.
Sotapanna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sotapan.
Sotapanna.
So uh, that's the same knowledge someone get Avijja Pacha Sankara knowledge. Yeah. Why it's essential? If we make different calculations and make a frame, then the next time when we learn something, we try to understand it with the frame which we put. Then we don't hear what Buddha is saying in that sutta. We hear because we have already made a frame and we try to put that thing that we have a small shoe and we have a big leg. Then what we try to do, since we are not ready to let go that small shoe, we try to cut the leg and put it to the shoe. It's
Yes.
not, I mean, we can do that, but it's not healthy.
No, Bhante, I guess, yeah, I'm framing myself to Bhante. So with all the, yes, many Bhante, I'll listen again and try to understand Bhante tells.
Yeah, okay, Shahani.
Yes, Bhante. So now this chain, the links, the dependent origination. So to really break, is there like a particular link, a particular place that it needs to be broken or weakened, or is it at every place? I'm a bit confused. And do you do it through meditation or post meditation reflection? Because you're trying to get rid of, uproot the fetters or whatever.
Right.
So, like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine how it happens in meditation.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question, by the way. So, first, the stream entrance means that having this as your own knowledge. It's not something believing, you're thinking that you have understand your own realization. So that's that there are that asap or the fetters. Fetters are like it says the kaya dhammam. It means that it's not like cut off, but it's like how to say, is there anyone who knows the Sinhala term that the kshaya vena? That means it's a thing that when you use something, it gevena. How to say it in English?
Is it fading away? Bhante is trying to say
Fading,
Kaya Dhamma, fading
Yeah,
away.
fading away. I think that how to say that? Uh,
vanishing slowly,
Sorry.
vanishing.
Yeah, I mean vanishing means seems like that suddenly we don't know it's going like that. It's thing that
Like
okay.
eroding? Something's eroding.
Say it again, Mali.
Like eroding, like something's eroding over time, like rust,
Eroding.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I
Or
mean,
wasting? Could it be wasting?
okay. I'll give an example, so you can find out. Maybe I don't know that the English term. So think that I think that I have a stone, and what I'm doing is that it's think that it's a limestone, so it's not too hard. I'm taking another hard rock, and then I'm like brushing in that hard rock. So what happened? So little by little, this limestone is like how to say that, fading away, or what's the word for that?
We can say it thinning to make it thin, thinner
Yeah,
and thinner and thinner.
yeah, it's thinning, and it's like way like I don't know, the wasting or the thing. So it's like it's not like cut off, it's by
Sounds like
little by
eroding.
Yeah.
eroding. Yeah, that's the word then.
Eroding.
Eroding.
Eroding,
Like
Yeah.
eroding.
eroding.
Okay, that's what it happens. So that's that's how these fetters are fading away, or it's like it's not cut off. First you get the knowledge, and then where it happens. So that it happens. So it's let's understand this though, that avijja, that we are talking about from deep and the avijja. So but since we learned about sabbasava sutta in the first, we know that avijja, or that ignorance, happens because of ignorance is here because of fetters. Fetters are the back power to sustain this system. So what happens when someone meditates? There are not only meditation is not the only way. Okay, I'll give you a homework. Read Sabba Sava Sutta. There are 7 uh, 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 I mean, one like it's if someone try to eradicate or like let go all the asava by just meditating, it won't work, and there are um 7 asavas. So the first one is dasana paham, that which means that because of your vision. So when you have clear vision, like this, a dependent origination, like suffering arises, is shall we say like this, where we all understand because of attachment suffering arises. So this vision should come first. So then you know that you are the one who need to work on that by yourself. That's you need to let go that fetter by your right view, clear view. And then the other fetter is uh, okay, uh, samvarapahang, which mean that uh, restraining, which mean when chakuna rupan diswa, yes, chakku indriya sangvarang asava, okay, it's like this. So shall we say like there are some defilements which arises when you look into it, and then you need to control your eye. Think that you are not you are like because of some reason you got angry towards someone. Now when you look into that person, you get angry. So then you need to control your eye. You need to have a pause and mindfulness when you look into that person. So that's a controlling thing. And there may be some words you may hear someone talking behind your back. So instead of just listening what they say and me getting mad, or think that there's a Facebook page of like someone posting something, instead of consistently checking it, you need to restrain that. That's a one way to control, but it's not the only way. You do not want to refrain or restrain from everything. They are whatever the things which create defilements in you. That's where you need to refrain. And then Patisevanapa, that means that while using, you need to let go the defilements. So that means that things which you use. So when we eat, think that we can't avoid that, we can't cut off eating, because think that you have too much of craving to food, and therefore you are giving like thinking that okay, I'm not going to eat from today onwards. It's not gonna work. But you have to eat it mindfully. And then not only eating, and then what you're wearing, and so like the where you live, and the medicines also. Those are the 4 basic things. In there, you need to use it mindfully. That's a one way of letting go the fetters. Then adhyasana paha, which means that you have to given up these defilements, but enduring, which means that severe pains. It says patisankha yoniso hoti සීතස්ස උන්නස්ස ජිගච්ඡා පිපාසා දංශමක්ස වාතාතප සිරින්සප සම්පස්සානං දුරුත්තානං දුරාගතානං වචනපතානං උප්පන්නාන ශාරීරිකාන වේදනානං දුක්ඛානං තිබ්බානං කරානං කටුකානං අසාතානං අමනාතාපානං පානහරාන ආදිවාසික ජාතියෝ. I'm just saying through my memory because I can read the English letters that fast in these Pali terms. You need to endure, like tolerate actually, that sita, so with me cold feeling, and then the heat, the jigacha means that the hunger, pipasa, that the thirsty, and dansamakasavata, which means that when you know that mosquitoes or bite. Remember this teaching given to meditators or monks who are meditating in somewhere in the jungle also. And then duruttana duragatana vachanapatana, that means that words which may hurt you, you need to tolerate that. So that's what Buddha is saying. So we need to train ourselves to like not to create problems within ourselves when we hear someone criticize. So we need to improve ourselves to that level of mindfulness. And the physical pain, and then so no matter, it's like we feel like our like life will over, still you need to tolerate, because there is no other way. I mean, taking medicine is something, but other than that, whatever the physical pains, you have to tolerate. And parivajjana pahataba, that means there are some fetters you need to avoid and let go. It says, what? Patisankha yoniso chandang hatting, that means like what? Elephant. And that means that there are elephants in the jungle. Chandang assang, the horse. Chandang gonang, bull. Chandang kukurang, like a dog. And that chandang means that the root. Parivajjeti ahinkanu kanta kattana sobbam papan. That means that putting yourself to a danger, like going to like a places like a huge heap, or like a kind of a places you can fall down likewise. And so okay, then the wrong places and wrong people, as without associating with them. And then vinodana pahataba, which means that dispelling, which means that vitaka, how to say it, like it's like thing that you get angry and your mind is keep on thinking on it. You have to let go that. It's not like if you see that it's a karma vitaka, that means that sensual pleasure thought, if it is an anger thought, or if it is a like harm, you feel like to harm someone, then you need to understand it and you need to let go. And then this is the bhavana, this is the meditation, this is to let go the fetters. What are the fetters? The anusayas, which mean that sorry, not, I'm sorry, not the anusayas, so the seven factors of enlightenment are the bojjhanga. We learn these things. These seven things we need to cultivate, and that's why we sit and meditate, or walking meditation also. And then what happens when someone practice this? The fetters are fading away. There's like after fetters, when we there's another part called the anusaya, which are like so subtle but existing with us. Think that when you get an unpleasant experience, someone no need to come and say, hey, get angry. Suddenly anger is touching you. There are seven anusayas, like there's a very slightly staying with you, and those seven things also to need to eradicate. Then the enlightenment happens. So then answer for your question, it's not like cutting off from somewhere, eroding. How it eroding? By practicing these seven things. Is that make sense, Shahani?
Yes, Bhante, thank you.
Yeah. So go through these suttas to see that how nice was Buddha's teachings, right? How does one bring compassion to the body part that is injured? What are the steps to do so? Also, are there any visualization based techniques one can use? So for this, the best option is practicing the loving kindness. So loving kindness allows you to accept the way your body, rather than being angry or like questioning yourself and being like, because when you accept the way your life is, when you accept your body, the way your body is, while giving treatments, you can overcome from the second pain. There are two pains arises with, which is that pain which just arises. Second pain is which arises because of the attachment. So example for that is with saying, when someone hit by a kind of a like a painful stick or so, or think that someone hit you some sort of a cane or so, another uh, another like with the to the same place, someone else bringing a cane and hitting again. So likewise, that there are pains as a living being, as a human, we need to go through, but with that, mental pain arises. That's what we need to let go. Loving kindness definitely allows, and yes, that the manifestation is there when you practice loving kindness. And so we can practice loving kindness. Well, that's what we usually practice on Thursday classes. Feel free to join.
Speaking of pain, I injured my foot, so I can't really walk, and I'm seeing a doctor, I'm taking medicine, and I know you mentioned loving kindness, but what if you're trying to do that, and already when you started talking about that, the pain went away? But how do you practice loving kindness when the pain is still persisting and like really bad?
Yes,
And when you
yes,
can't do the things you love, like yoga or running?
yeah. Yes, Stacy, if you can remember that the Fetters Sutta which we just read, we learned that there are things to enduring, right?
Yeah.
Which means that we need to, it says that dukkhana, that's painful, tibbana, that's like more painful, karana, katukana, it's like each word upgrading the level of pain, and it's in the pana harana, even you feel like your life is over. We need to tolerate that, because that's how this body made out of. So while tolerating that, we need to accept and spread love and kindness. The reason is, Stacy, no one can share someone else's pain. I mean, they can be part of, like, they can say and they can they can comfort us, but they can't physically share our pains. Like So therefore, we need to improve ourselves to accept that.
Okay. So it's all mental then.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. And thankfully, compared to back then, we have so many painkillers in the over the counter from the doctor nowadays, right? Yes. So in Sri Lanka, we have a painkiller. Drinking that also another the pain. We call it Venuagata. It's so it's really difficult to drink, but it heals the pain somehow. Okay, let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's share all the blessings with everyone. Today we learned, actually not one sutta, we learned 3 suttas today. Let's share all these merits with all the divinely beings and with our past relatives and friends, and with our teacher and all the monastic monks, and with our wonderful volunteers and Dhamma listeners who came today to learn and practice. May you all be well, may you all be happy, may you all good wishes come true, and may you all able to experience the blissfulness and the happiness, and may you all able to understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.